Hey, what's up? Jeremy Hood, founder of Restaurant Results Partners here, and today I'm going to show you how to get as many catering leads as you can handle for just $25. And that's not paying us $25, that's doing it for yourself for $25. Before we jump into that, just a quick note on catering. If you're not doing catering, you're leaving a ton of money on the table, and here's why. This is my family's restaurant. We just closed 2023, and we're averaging about $16,000 a week in catering. And catering, it's not just adding catering sales. There's like this snowball effect, because you can promote catering to your regular dining room customers, and at catering events, you can promote your restaurant to the people that attend the catering event. There's probably tens of thousands of people in your city that have maybe heard of your restaurant, maybe they've never heard of your restaurant, that might see you at an event, and you can encourage them to come try you out at the restaurant. So really, it's one of those one hand washes the other type situations. I'll also say, as it starts kicking in, it's a way to really add large chunks of sales, and you can accelerate your growth quickly. The average catering order might be $500 to $1,000, or the average ticket in your restaurant is $50 or $100. So, if you can just get one or two of those a day, hopefully you can see how your sales will really start to pick up pretty quickly. So, it took us a while to get here. It didn't happen overnight. When we first really started promoting catering, we were maybe doing $1,000 to $2,000 a week, and but the numbers didn't lie. Every time we had more than $5,000 in a week, we made a lot more money. So we really started an emphasis on it. And if you're not doing catering, I'm sure you probably had customers ask you before, like, hey, can we pick up food for 20 people? And you just kind of throw something together. First thing you need to do is create a menu. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be a one-page sheet. This is actually our wedding menu. Our average wedding ticket's $5,000 or $6,000, and we're just using this one-page menu to sell that. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you need to have one, because if you don't, people are weird. They won't believe that you can actually produce catering, even though you produce food every day. So first things first, get that catering menu going. Print some, let your dining room customers take it home. And then now let's go ahead and jump into the main topic of this video. And I'm going to show you how to collect as many leads as you can handle in your town. So I've scraped together this list of, and it's from top to bottom, different types of businesses that are most likely to order catering. And just kind of going through here, our number one customer is a local credit union here in town. We're lucky we have the University of Florida in Gainesville, and if you add up all the different departments that order from us, they're probably our second largest customer, but we haven't even, there's probably still room to triple our business within University of Florida. It's that big. Hospitals. The other thing to think about too is with these industries, hospitals specifically, like I know there's a nurses week, so there's different ways to promote to each of these lists. So, I'm sure like accounting firms are on here, like tax season, retail stores, Black Friday. There's not only, ongoing, like they have trainings and construction companies and architectural firms, they have topping out parties. There's so many reasons that these companies need to order food. And so you just need to, let them know that you can provide that food for them. So I've got this list. If you want a copy, just shoot me an email, jeremy@restaurantresults.co, and I'll shoot that over to you. I'll put my email in the description. But basically, we're going to use this tool called Leads Extractor. You can Google it, or the URL is leads-extractor.com. It only works with Microsoft Edge. As you can see, I pretty much use Google Chrome for everything when I'm browsing the internet. But when you click on this, it's going to take you to the Edge extension. So you'll need to download Microsoft Edge if you don't have it. Install this template, and then I'm just going to pull this over here. So once you have the add-on, it's right here. You can see there's nothing on here. It's $25 a month, and you can it's month to month, so you can cancel it whenever. And if you just spent a couple hours doing this, you probably would only need to pay for 1 month. So when you open up Microsoft Edge, just go ahead and head over to maps.google.com. I was already there. So let's look at this list. I'm going to come back to the top one because obviously corporate offices is pretty big, but we can go ahead and start with law firms. And then just type in your city. You don't really need near, you could just put in the city. So as you can see, it's got a few, it had 19 on there, but to get all of them, what you're going to do is you're just going to keep scrolling all the way down until it tells you you're at the end of the list, because it's going to add every one that pops up. It's going to add to this list, and it gives you a ton of information. I'm going to show you in a second. A lot of law firms. And just to show you, now we're at 107. So it went from 19 to 107 just by scrolling. Okay, we've reached the end of the list. So 116 total. You're going to export that, download it. Open it. And boom, you've got all this information. Name, address, some of them have emails listed, but be careful because a lot of these are just like generic emails. Some of them also might be spam traps, so you should do your own research. But phone number, you have ratings, reviews. So obviously some of these firms are bigger than others, and they might not all order catering. So I would suggest, and you'll figure this out as you start having conversations with people, but maybe use the review count as a starting point. So let's sort these A to Z. So maybe you want to start with any that have over 40. So, from there, that's 39 different law firms that you could try to talk to. Let's do one more just to show you another example. Medical practice. Should be another big one. And as you keep scrolling, you can see just more places keep populating. All right, 122 of those. So let's sort by these again. So I can tell you from just being familiar with the places in Gainesville, SciMed's a big one, Doctors Imaging Group. So I would say total review count is probably a pretty good way to judge as far as like who's big enough to order from you. Because if it's an office staff of like 4 people, it's probably not worth your time. But if they're ordering monthly for 15 to 20 people, well, you probably want to have a conversation with them. So you got all this information. Now what do you do? It's really your preference, what you have time for, who's going to be working this list, but you need to start working this list. If you watch any other videos, they talk a lot about advertising to get people into your restaurant, which is a much different process than marketing to other businesses to try to get them to order catering. It's more like B2B sales, so developing relationships. You have to figure out who the decision maker is, who's that person who's ordering food. So the most efficient way is to just cold call these people. I'm not going to quite get into that in this video, but you know, if you got a script, you could probably knock out 20 to 30 calls an hour. You know, if you had someone that spent a couple hours a day, a couple days a week, you could really fly through this, especially, you know, if you're going down and creating a list for all these types of businesses. The other thing that you could do is cold email. If you don't want to pick up the phone, which is fine. But as you can see, there's not a ton of emails, so you'll need to probably manually check out everyone's website and try to find their email. A good place to do that is also their Facebook page. A lot of places have an email on their Facebook page. You could also, what I do, you can find offshore contractors on Upwork to do this for you. I pay $35 for someone to go through 250 of these and find emails for me. So it's like 14 cents a check, which is pretty cheap. So you could do that as well. And then, as I said earlier, we're going to come back to this corporate office thing. This is really, you know, any business, so it's pretty vague. If you're going to put it in the maps, a lot of them are listed as business services, and what we're looking for is office parks. Let's go back. I take that back. Just use corporate offices. So you can see like Catalyst Park office park. I'm sure you know corporate office. I'm sure you know there's different office parks in your area. Where there's a lot of businesses inside one little small thing. The best way to approach those, in my opinion, is what we call drop-ins, or you could call them cookie drops. Print some menus, get some business cards, bring some of your food. Desserts are always nice. Try to walk in there in an off hour, like 2 to 3 in the afternoon, and you know, just have a conversation with people, introduce yourself, ask if there's someone in their office that orders catering, leave them a menu, ask for their cards so that you can follow up with them. But again, I'm not going to get into too much of how we work that list. In this video, I'm probably going to create another one, so just stay tuned. And again, if you want this list, shoot me an email and I'll shoot it over to you.